Welcome, Jenny.
Yeah, well, good to be here. Thank you again. And today Lena asked me to talk a little bit about money mindset and things like that. And I would first like to say I think most of you almost certainly already are not complete. I mean, no better way to say it. Already have ideas about money mindset, the importance of money mindset. I mean, you've talked to Lena, you've worked, I'm sure, on your thinking about money. Why is the kind of stuff I do differently? Well, one of the things I work with is this technique, emotional freedom techniques, which is, and one of the very important things in there is really kind of saying it how it is. So when we have issues with money, very often I think what we do is we go into resistance, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that today. We operate from the self, if you like, that wants to be liked and loved and approved of. And when it comes to money and business or our careers or investing or operating with money, very often the kind of social programming that we got doesn't really serve us. It gets in our way of stepping into our power, being strong and everything. So one of the qualifications that I did to become an EFT tapping coach was a certification called Tapping into Wealth. And in that training, we went into lots of different parts of our money, specifically talking about our saving, which is where, of course, investment comes in, our income, our debt, the way we operate around money and different things, and the kind of programming that we've got, the kind of things that come up for us. For example, when we think about our income, it may be that feeling of it's not enough. Or if you set a goal and your goal setting, you say, I want to make 100K this year. And a part of you goes, yes, going for it, sort of thing. Maybe, I don't know where we're all coming from here. Maybe 100K is kind of low, but the worlds I operate in, 100K is a goal. But, whatever goal you've got in mind, another part of you is going, it's impossible. I'll never do it. And these kind of thoughts really get in our way. Len and I were talking about this the other day, and this idea that our thoughts on a level of what we think and what we believe is so important. And the main reason it's so important is this chain reaction that we have. Our thoughts lead to feelings. So if we think at one moment, I can absolutely charge that much, or I can absolutely invest in this place and feel confident about my ability to do this. That would lead to feeling good, feeling confident, feeling great. If we, on the other hand, have a kind of, oh my God, I can't possibly, do this or whatever, that's going to lead to shrinking, to feeling shame, embarrassment, all these different things. And that is what directly leads to action, or very often inaction. So thoughts lead to feelings, lead to action, which then lead to results. So uncovering at a thought level and working on the kind of emotions that come up from them can have direct results. So if I work with clients, for example, who, someone who really doesn't want to put up their prices, for example, then we work on clearing, okay, where did that come from? And how does it make you feel? We acknowledge and honor those feelings. And so then it clears and heals enough so that you can get to a point of, you know what, I actually can charge this much, or I can ask for that or do that. Okay, so that was kind of the first thing I wanted to talk about, this idea of thoughts leading to feelings, leading to action, leading to results. And they, basically the kind of catchphrase, change your thinking, change your result. Okay, so Len and I go back a little bit, but in this, we met in the International Women's Business Group here in Madrid, and we done a couple of courses together, and for me it was really wonderful to, and I've done Lena's course as well, I've done her investment course, and but it was wonderful to work with someone who understands the nuts and bolts, the money management, the ideas behind that, and comes from there, and put together with the, okay, recognizing that a lot of resistance comes up around money. Money is a very a subject where we all have opinions. Even little kids have opinions. You can talk to a little child and they will say something like, oh no, it's too expensive, or something like that. And it obviously parroting what they've heard their parents talking about or what they hear on the news and everything. But money, for better or for worse, as we all know, it's a system that we've all bought into. And there are some people, of course, who go and off to a retreat and opt out, kind of thing, but even they will have bills to pay. That at some level we've all got to operate with money, and money itself is not the problem. It's our thinking around money, our belief that money is limited, maybe our belief that other people can get money, I can't get money, and things like this. So there's another, I talked before about resistance, and just I'd like to say, as I'm talking and everything, please, there's not so many of us here, this would be really helpful if you can ask questions. If there's anything that I'm saying which you kind of think, what she mean, or no, you know what, I don't agree with that, let's have a conversation, and I'd love to hear any questions or comments or thoughts that you have as I go on. Just, I don't know, put up your hand, your virtual hand, or whatever feels right. Okay, so we're good for the moment. All right, so I have two jobs. I live here in Madrid. I'm, on the one hand, I'm a violinist. I've played for the last, oh God, many years, decades, in different orchestras. I'm a freelance musician. I've played in musicals here and things like that. And the reason I discovered or started using, because I didn't discover it, but you know what I mean, for myself, this technique, emotional freedom techniques, was to help me with my music career. As a musician, there are many situations where you're really on the spot. You have to produce the goods in a very high stress situation. But musicians, we're certainly are not the only people who have high stress situations where we have to produce the goods. And this technique, we could even try it out a little bit, Lena, if you want, sort of, we kind of didn't have that idea, but we could do a little bit of, it's called tapping. We could do a little bit of tapping about money. I think it would be really, it might be interesting for you. It's an energy technique which helps to clear the energy, the emotions, the feelings that we have around money and our limiting beliefs, and enabling us basically to operate in a more free zone, if you like. All right. So one of the things that comes up for many of us is resistance. I want to take a moment. This is going to make it more practical for you as I'm talking. I want you to think of a situation in your life, it could be in your professional life or in your personal life, but where money is involved. And a place where you feel maybe somewhat challenged or triggered around money. Okay, maybe if you've got something just to write on, just take a few seconds. I'll give you, I don't know, 30 seconds or something, just to write down. And you don't have to share this. This can be, money can be sensitive. So I'm not going to say, oh, write down how much you got in your bank account or something. Not necessary. Just write down a situation where you feel triggered or challenged around money.
When you say triggered or challenged, do you mean?
Maybe there's some fear, maybe there's some doubt, anxiety, shame. That's what I mean, right? Okay. And I'm going to give you another situation. I want you to think about how much, either how much you're earning now or how much you have. Think about money. And I want you to imagine that being doubled. Okay. And a part of you might say, yay, brilliant, love it. But the idea is that where we are now is where a big part of us is comfortable, even though another part of us is definitely uncomfortable and would often want more or feel better with more. But it's in our comfort zone, it's in our safe place. So if you imagine either doubling it or even, 10 times it, and I'm going to say 5 statements, and I want you to rate these on a scale of 1 to 10, how true they might feel for you. Okay, so 10 is, oh God, oh my God, she's reading my mind. 1 is, no, nothing to do with me. Okay, so I'm going to, and we're thinking about earning a lot more, either earning or having. Maybe I should ask you, I don't know, Lena, is this relevant? Earning is relevant for everyone here, because obviously I don't know your people, and or is it more about having money, or what are we talking about here? Can you?
Well, I would think that earning is relevant for everyone, no?
Okay, cool.
No?
Okay.
So the more we earn, the more we save, the more, yeah.
I mean, I just don't know if people, we're all working here, or if it's more that people have just got money invested or so. And just to make it the most relevant.
Well, I think it's
brilliant. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. That's great. Okay. So the first one is earning a lot of money might create problems for me. And what I mean by that is, maybe other people will be jealous or kind of not recognize me, or they might ask for things. So that's a place. Or the other thing is, might be, I'm going to have to go up a tax bracket and it's going to be a headache, or, so that kind of feeling, those kind of problems. And just stick down a number. And again, this is not a science project. If you put down a number and afterwards you think, no, it's not that, that's fine. Okay, so that's the first one. The next one, again, thinking about earning a lot more, bringing a lot more, it's going to be very hard. That idea of I'm already working hard, if I have to earn more money, it's going to be even more hard. It's going to disrupt things, maybe my home life. And a part of me really resists that. And afterwards, I'm going to tell you the kind of categories these fall in, but for the moment, we'll just keep going. The next one is, I'm not, and now you fill in the blank. For example, I'm not smart enough to earn a lot more. I'm not young enough. I'm not beautiful enough. I'm not old enough. I'm not brave enough. I'm not trained enough. I'm not outgoing enough. I'm not good at connecting, networking, enough kind of thing. So these are, you know, these kind of not enoughs. And you can pick one that works for you and put a number with that. And another one that goes with that is, this is a kind of fill in the blanks, thinking about money, thinking about a lot of money, put down the words, in my family, and anything that comes to mind. Right. All right, the next one, and yeah, things will come up with that one. It's a good one. I can't earn a really good living doing what I love. So
Sorry, can you repeat it, please?
Absolutely. I can't earn a lot of money, for example, or a really good living doing what I love.
It is I can.
I can't.
I can't. Okay.
I can't. Cannot. And again, may not be true for you, or it may be like, oh my God, yeah, you know, work has to be boring, it has to be hard. This is the messaging we get as we're growing up, you know. And finally, one more. And bear with me using the D word. I don't deserve to earn a lot of money, or things like I'm not worth that much. The kind of other people can earn that, but not me. Okay. All right. So what I would love now is if you're happy to share, if any of these were particularly either challenging for you or triggering for you, and what kind of thoughts are coming up right now. This would be really great. And then we can do a little bit of tapping around this. Does anyone have anything to share on this?
Sure.
Go for it. Thanks.
So the one before is, what was it? I cannot earn
Doing what I love.
what I really love. I'm a bit stuck on this one. I don't know what I really love.
Oh, yeah.
I put that in the middle. And this is kind of my current process. I'm like, what do I really want to do? And so I know everyone is, it's like, follow your passion and then money will follow, or anything like. I
And you're going, I don't know what my passion is. Yeah,
exactly. I don't know what my calling is. I don't know what it is. So that triggers other things.
yeah, yeah. That's great. I mean, I always say that's great because then we tap on it. But yeah. I don't know what my calling is. That's such a good observation. And I would suggest that, as well as there's a part of you that's saying, I don't know what it is, but also maybe that part of you is saying, hey, if I define what I really love and everything and start to try to use that to make money, that's going to be either really hard, or, you know, a part of it doesn't even let us go there. Because, you know, we're not looking here for, you know, when they talk about the passion, we're not talking about a hobby or just having fun. We're talking about making money and making lots of money, and money will flow to us and everything. And so if we're kind of stuck on the, I don't even know where to start here, because there's that fear that, you know, I get into there, and then I discover that maybe it's not as fun as I thought, or maybe I didn't enjoy it so much, and the money doesn't flow, and then then we kind of back right off. So yeah, but that's a good observation. I love that. Anything else? Catherine, you got your hand up as well. Oh, and then Anna as well. Catherine?
Yeah. I just attended today the Happy Abroad Summit. It's an online summit. Happy Abroad Summit.
Okay, nice.
And it's about expat life.
Yep.
And it's about purpose. Or there was several speakers today about purpose.
Yep.
And how to find that, and I just thought it was very well fitting to you.
Yeah.
And yeah, and it's available for free today and the next 3 days.
Cool.
It's not me. I don't get any money of it.
No. Sorry, I'm not selling us anything here, Catherine. Don't bring money into it, God.
But I thought it's, even if the Francisca, the one, she's doing that now a couple of years, and I attended several ones, and she is gathering several speakers, and it was very interesting today, especially listening
and looking at
to
it, looking at it from the spotlight of money. Does that bring up anything for you? Does that, this idea of, it's very similar to what Fiona's just said, in a different words, this purpose, my purpose. And we've been sold this as well, this, I have to have a purpose. If I don't have a really clear vision and purpose, there's something wrong with me. Now, I have my own feelings about that, but you tell me what you're feeling.
It was interesting because one of the speakers, she said that she changed her business a lot.
Yep.
And realized that her purpose was totally different.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, to start and then to re-evaluate what you're doing, and to start somewhere, and not to think that you need to be in the right spot right from the beginning.
Yeah.
But to realize it's a way of travel.
Absolutely. Taking those steps will give you more clarity. There's this really good analogy, which I like. Oh, it's an analogy or a metaphor. That if you imagine driving at night and you have headlights, and so hang on a sec. Can you mute yourself, Fiona? Do you mind? Is that good? Thanks, Tom. You're driving at night, and your headlights, you're the high beam or the whatever they call it, and you can see maybe 100 yards or 100 meters down the road, and until you start moving forward, you can't see any further. So it's this idea of, as I move forward, then I start to see more things. Then I start, if I just stay stuck where I am, that's as far as I can see. And so that's a good image to have in your mind of, I don't actually know what it is, but maybe if I can pick just one thing, take a couple of action steps on that, without any real expectations, but more a kind of clarity process. Is this something that actually I'm as excited about as I thought I could be? Or could this somehow be tied up with my purpose? But if it's not, great, I got more clarity there. I've basically moved on, and my high beams, then you'll see other things. So I think that's a kind of similar way what they were saying to you. Would you agree, Catherine?
Yeah. It's very much that. And actually for me, this question number 5 was also something I got stuck, because I was thinking about starting with kids' books, and now with ChatGPT, I'm also questioning, is there still a possibility to write yourself? Is it worthwhile to do it?
Yeah. And we start second guessing ourselves like crazy. Something which felt like a great idea, suddenly it starts feeling, oh right, okay, I know, I'll get to you in a bit. It starts feeling, oh, maybe not. That's one. When things sort of come out of the blue and suddenly you get an opportunity, that's why it's so great. You don't have time to second guess yourself and start questioning your motives and everything. So yeah.
But actually, for me, it's also that I'm also on a kids play to develop that and to just do it and to see if it can create a passive income stream.
Yeah.
So, and the other one I got hooked up was it will be very hard to earn that much as I don't want to restrict myself or to change a lot. And that's
Yep. Anna, how about you? Thanks for sharing all that, Catherine. It's really, really good.
Thank you, Catherine. Sorry, what is the name again of those conferences?
Happy Abroad. Let me just
Happy
see.
Abroad, no?
Happy Abroad Summit. I just need to see.
Put a link in the chat, maybe.
Yeah, I just need to see.
Yeah, these kind of summits are great, and you can listen to them, for free and get great ideas and everything.
Yeah, thank you to write in the chat. So in my case, it's interesting because I have quite an opposite with two questions.
Okay.
The 5th and the 6th, I have like a 10, right?
Which one, sorry?
I know.
Which one?
The 5th and the 6th. I can't learn a lot.
Right.
I know it's not a 10, it's a 1. I mean, it's nothing to do with me. I
Okay,
can't learn a lot of money doing what I really love.
Yeah,
1 is nothing to do with me. It's 1.
Okay.
And I don't deserve also a 1. I mean, I deserve completely. So this is positive. And in the 3rd, about I'm not to earn money, that's when happens my resistance, my beliefs. I'm not enough self-confident. Okay. I'm not a very good salesperson. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So there's where comes my your
limiting beliefs. Yeah.
Yes, my limiting belief.
Brilliant.
Thank you, Catherine.
Yeah, no, thank you for sharing that, Anna. And that's a really great point, that we don't have everything. You know, I would say, pat yourself on the back if that is not your issue. You know, you're going to have other issues, but you don't have to have them all, kind of thing. So nice, and thank you for sharing that. Yuri, how about you? Is that, I probably said it wrong.
Sorry, I don't know. It's my husband's name, but my name is Svetlana. But no worries.
Okay, brilliant.
For me, the triggering question was that I'm not brave enough to actually invest. As I mentioned to Lena before, I'm quite knowledgeable, or I tend to think so, about the steps I need to take in terms of investment, but I cannot make the first step. And then when you went into the family things, I actually wrote down that because I grew up in the Soviet Union, where there was very little money, and the first was a planned economy, so everyone knew how much they will get. It was like 120 rubles for the engineers, but at least everyone knew how much he or she will be getting. And then there was a complete collapse and disaster in the 90s. So very often there was no money. And basically you could get food if you know someone, and the shop assistants were your best friends. So you go there and there is nothing on the shelves, but if you know the shop assistant, they will sell you something. And so I thought perhaps this is connected. I have such a fear. And although there are these funds and the trackers, and rationally I understand that the whole world is investing in this market. If I don't want to choose specific one, I can just go with the market. It will eventually grow. So this is all logical reasoning, and I understand. However, I'm still afraid of it.
And here's the thing, and this is such a good point, we don't operate from our logical selves. And when it comes to money, well, I mean, a part of us does, and 95% of us doesn't. And the kind of things that you've talked about, you know, money traumas, if you like, you know, they may not be someone dying, or they might be, you know, but things like job loss, fear, scarcity, fear around money. Also, even that, you know, I can't earn it more than everyone else because everyone know I'm earning more and I'll get rejected and everything. These are all really huge blocks to allowing yourself. So that in my family would be a good one for you to write out, you know, and then you realize, oh my God, I'm operating from all these old rules, which was people who were operating from a system which kept a lid on this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Do I want to, and do I want to continue?
Also, like my grandparents and many other grandparents in the Soviet Union were saving money, say, for the wedding. But by the time it got to the wedding, whilst it was almost an amount to buy a car, all of a sudden, overnight, it has turned into some meaningless amount. You couldn't buy even, I don't know, the washing machine or the carpet with it. So basically, the lives savings were lost due to devaluation of the ruble at some stage, and there were several of those. So
there's so much insecurity, so much fear, and I'm not remotely surprised that you're resisting. Let me just tell you about these 5 examples. These are what I call, well, these are the 5 areas of resistance. That's not one of my things. That's a kind of, in psychology they talk about these, and I call it, I say to people, have you been swiped? And the reason I'll put the capital letters in here like this, swiped, because these 5 categories are safety. So things like, other people will be upset. Yuri, that's not Yuri, sorry.
Svetlana. Lana.
I can't say that, Lana. Okay.
Just Lana.
That's a really good clear example of that. If I get more money, all the neighbors are going to be going, what, they something dodgy going on here or whatever, or okay. Safety. The next one is willingness, and that's where it comes into these ideas that it's going to be really hard. I'm never going to see my children because I have to work night and day, sort of thing. So am I really willing to compromise to that extent just for money, kind of thing? Oh, you know what? I'm okay. I'm doing all right. Or am I willing to put myself out there as a strong, brave businesswoman? Oh, God, it doesn't feel right, kind of thing. So willingness is the second one. The third one is actually a little bit what I was just saying there, identity. And this idea of in my family or in my society, or I'm not this enough, or I'm too shy, I can't ask for money, and the thing, this is an example of thoughts lead to feelings. I can't ask for money leads to kind of shrinking, feeling, oh no, which then you just don't, whereas the words, my fees are for a 4-month program, 3,000 euros. I can say that, but a part of me is going, oh God, they're going to hate me because I'm, this will move on to. All right, so that was safety, willingness, identity. The fourth one is possibility. And that is the I can't do it. I can't, it's just. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think this is a real thing for women, because our conditioning is so much, even now, much less obviously for my children and stuff, but even so, most of us men have the earning power, men, and there's still, inequality. So many of us women, there's a kind of, oh, I can't, or even I can't manage money, oh, I'm so bad at it. And let me tell you, people of both sexes have that, kind of thing. But I think there's a lot of programming we get there. And then the last one is is the deservingness. And this, oof, I'm just, I'm not qualified enough. I feel like it comes into, other people are better at this than me and things like that. So this, I'm not really worth it, sort of thing. And we get a lot of, some people hate saying I don't deserve, because I think we equate it very many times with being little, asking for something, getting a bad look or a bad response. And, we learn, oh my God, it must be I don't deserve it, because we get that thing. So it doesn't feel good. And so we kind of resist it and everything. Lena, how long have we got? 5 more minutes? Is that all? Or What's the system here?
Well, I would say it depends how long. Yeah, normally I think we would finish at 9:15.
Okay, all right. Well, what I can do, because I don't want to, getting into tapping and everything, 4 minutes is probably not long enough to do it. What I would love to share with you is I have on YouTube, I have a YouTube channel with tapping. Let me just give you the 2-minute version of what this is, this thing. Basically, it's an energy healing technique, which is based on the same system of energy that is used for acupuncture or Reiki, traditional Chinese medicine. And this is a technique that, as we all know, acupuncture is putting needles in, and by that unblocking the energy, getting the energy flowing again. And this is the idea. With tapping, instead of using needles, what we're doing is there are 9 points in the basic recipe, which we tap on with our fingers. And what you're doing there is stimulating these energy points. And as we're tapping, there are basically 3 parts to tapping. One is the tapping itself on these 9 points. And you've got, I'll share a video with you, which is making 10K a year, month. Okay, more challenging. So, and then this is another point, and this is the top point. So basically, one thing is you're tapping on those points, and the second part is you're talking. So you're talking about this kind of resistance. When you tap, you say things like, I really don't know what I want to do. I haven't got anything clear. Or if I make a lot of money, I'm just going to lose it again. Because that's what I saw when I was little. We worked so hard for our money, and from one day to the next, it meant nothing. So, this kind of thing, whatever is coming up for you. And while we're doing that, we're tapping. And then the third element, if you like, is that we evaluate. So at the beginning, I've used today with you this system of 0 to 10, very common system. You check before, okay, when I say I want to earn 100K a month, a part of what comes up, maybe it's fear. Okay, and you say to yourself, okay, what am I feeling? How much fear? Okay, there's like a 7 in there. All right, I'll tell you in a sec, Catherine. There's so I rate my fear as a 7. Where do I feel it in my body? Oh my God, my stomach is really knotted, sort of thing. All right, then we do some tapping, and then we check in again. And very often, 2 things are happening. One, the tapping, is bringing down cortisol, which is a stress hormone. So it brings us out of, the fight or flight response, which is our amygdala, our ancient brain, which is going, whoa, panic stations, and we can start to think more clearly. So if you want to invest, what I suggest you do is tap round the point. And I can share, Lena, I can share with you a thing which is how to tap on your own. Okay, I can share that and you could give that to everyone. All right, that will be helpful. It's a PDF. And then as you're doing this tapping, you're going to be bringing down the stress hormone, and the fact that you're saying out loud what is really going on. I love to use the word acknowledging and honoring. So you know what? I am terrified about this. What if I lost all my money? It's far too scary to think about. I'll be just so horrible. I'll be so disappointed. Other people are going to look at me like I'm an idiot. All these kind of ideas that might be coming up for us. We acknowledge those, we honor those, and you'll find there are going to be some things which you've never said out loud because they're kind of, our mechanism is to shut them down quick because then they feel like they're not helpful. But by recognizing them, honoring them, and then tapping to bring down the stress, you can move through to very different beliefs, and you can start to feel, you know what, now the fear's gone down to a 4. It doesn't feel as relevant anymore. Or maybe it's gone down to a 6.5, and keep tapping kind of thing. Or maybe it's just, you know what, that's crazy. I can do this. I don't have to sell my house and my kidney. I can maybe just invest 2,000 euros or something, not, you know, do you see what I mean? So if we get to a point where we're using then the front part of our brain, which can think, which can be rational and everything. So that's the idea. So what I would suggest, Lena, and another time maybe we, you know, we can do some tapping together. It would be great, you know, if people are interested. But in the meantime, I'll share that PDF, and I can share this tapping for 10K or tapping for, you know, for money thing, if that feels good.
This is great.
Yes.
Thank you.
Cool.
Thank
Okay.
you. And well, I can tell everyone that I tapped with Jenny, and yeah, and it's almost like a magic feeling, because it's, in a way, it's a weird thing you're doing, no? But yeah, the fear goes down, the anxiety goes down. You really feel different.
Yeah, yeah. And there's a feeling of, I think many people say it's a feeling of kind of stepping away. You've got a different perspective. So, and very often we tap, for example, with memories, you know, something bad that happened, you know, maybe it could be I invested money and I lost it, or something like that. So then we would tap on, even though I invested that money and I lost it, I love and accept myself completely. And then we go round the points, and then nothing's changed in the real world, but within you, there's a feeling of, you know what, that was then, this is now, or whatever you want to, or, you know, I can still accept myself despite that, you know, and that means you can move forward and do, you know, and take risks, which may not even be very risky, but they feel that way at the time. So, yay. So thank you. And yes, another time also I'd love to talk about this social self, professional self thing, but that's for another day. So there's always a lot.
I think Catherine was asking about INP now, but
oh yes.
yeah.
Yes, let me just pop them in the chat very fast so you all have them. So it's safety with S, willingness, identity. That's where, you know, people are often the imposter syndrome comes in, or you know, oh, we don't, you know, lots of people have funny feelings about rich people, you know, rich people get what they do by doing dodgy things and stuff, and I'm not that kind of person, so I don't want a lot of money, you know. We kind of equate, therefore I will be, and it doesn't have to be that way. Because there's lots of very lovely people like Lena who do invest and make money. So and then the last one is, yeah, it's deserving. Okay, so safety, willingness, identity, possibility, and deservingness, if you like. All right, so those are the 5 areas of resistance. And, you know, when you're feeling resistant, Fiona, your thing of, I don't know what to do, have a look at that. This swiped, you've been swiped. All right, if I knew what to do, where's the resistance coming up? Okay, and look at each one of those, you know. Maybe it's that in your family, I was always told what to do and I was never given the chance to make a decision for myself. Surprise! I still don't know what to do. You know, do you see what I mean? And of course, I don't know you, that may not be the case at all. But, you know, this kind of thing might come up and you say, yeah, you know what? I've never been given a chance to decide for myself. You know, many of us are like that, you know. It was just laid out for us and we were never given a chance to find out our passions and things like that. Yeah. All right.
Please share with us your website and your YouTube channel, no? So while we're here.
Yes, my website is abetterlifetapping.com. I'll put it here. If you go there, now don't be alarmed, it is very musician oriented, but the work I do, I mean, I work with a lot of musicians, a lot of artists, but I have a course which is called Tap Into Your Visibility. You know, if you want to be seen and heard more, or if you want to just either online or offline or whatever, and I do that kind of one time with artists, one time with non-musicians, what I call civilians or normal people. And, you know, so don't be afraid. There's the EFT tapping page there. You'll get information there. I have a YouTube channel, which is, well, if you know my name, if you look, Jenny Clift Coaching, I think it is. And it's also called A Better Life Tapping. So that's there. But if you, I'll share these handouts, and at the bottom of these handouts, it has that written there as well. And if anyone would like to give it a go with me, I hope it's all right to say, Lena, I do offer like just a free 30-minute session. If you want to try it out with absolutely no, pressure to, oh, no, you must continue or anything, but to try it out, or if there's something specific coming up with you, maybe Fiona, this thing we could do some tapping on, I don't know what the heck I want to do, and you'll get more clarity. So please, I love meeting people. I love talking to different people, and it's a part of what I do in my job. So by all means, I can, I can even just put a quick link. Again, I'll share it with you, Lena, but here's a link. This is a free 30-minute session. So if you put that on my calendar and you write a little bit, there's a form there to say, what do you want to talk about? And then we do a little bit of tapping together. So I'm love to tap with any of you, and anyone else who's watching the replay as well. That's all a part of the service. All right.
Well, thank you so much, Jenny. I think well, I will say it for myself, I learned a lot, and I let anyone else to comment.
Yay.
Yeah, thank you. It was really very, very interesting.
Good.
Yes,
Thank you, Anna.
And interesting also this approach about the beliefs and mindset behind money.
Yeah. We've got a lot of stuff going on with money. Yeah. We equate it with freedom, and right from when we're little, very often we get this message. If you say to your mum and dad, oh, can we go to the zoo? Can we go to the zoo? I love the zoo. I love the zoo. And they say, oh, no, we can't afford it. Or, no, it's too expensive. And it may be complete crap what they're saying, but it's a nice, convenient excuse that we adults use, sort of thing. But it gives children the idea that it's something I really want to do. It's exciting for me. It's wonderful. And money gets in the way of that. So just that as an idea is something to ponder as well, And it may not have anything to do with reality. It may, there are definitely some people who can't afford to go to the zoo, but there's plenty of middle-class families who can, but the parents say, you know what, this weekend I can't be bothered to go anywhere. I'm watching Netflix, kind of thing. And that's the excuse that gets trotted out. So, Anyway, I'll stop talking. As you can see, I can go on and on forever. So, I'd like to talk in Happy Abroad. We'll talk about that, Catherine. Really great. Okay, lovely to meet you all. Thank you so much, Lena. Really
Thank you, Jenny. Thanks, everyone.
Yay.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Bye. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.